Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Evening Word. I am your host, Saxophone Delmone, bringing you love, light, and positivity to your newsfeed. And it's another funny and happy message that we're getting out because, I'm trying to get people to think a little bit different on the situations that they're in because there's so much negativity going around. It's easy to get caught up in that. It's easy to feel sorry for ourselves. It's easy to look for pity when there are plenty of people that are finding ways to thrive during frustration and depression. It's all a mindset. Turn that frown upside down, Charlie Brown. So the Bible has a couple of verses that kind of helps us out, and it really leads to a good title that we have today. So it's "You're Not Lost, You Just Don't Care Where You're Going." Or our life goal should always end at being in heaven, right? So you kind of set your goals and set your motivations to reach your end goal of making it to heaven. But if you don't have goals, or you don't care, or you're not you don't have any kind of want to or gumption to move towards something that's either bigger than us or some kind of positivity, well, then we'll get sucked into that negativity, right? Be herded like sheep. So today's word comes from Psalm 37, verse 23 and 24, and another verse from Psalm chapter 18, verse 30. And the word says, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Though he falls, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his hand. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in him." All right, this word comes from Psalm chapter 37, verse 23 and 24, and Psalm 18, verse 30. And so I was saying, so many people talk about how they're just lost and frustrated, but when I bring up God, now they, here you go with that God. Oh, I don't believe in God, or God don't care about me. And I understand that feeling because some people are just overly have faith in God, and I believe in God, trust. But like, how do you do that? How? Because it's so hard, right? Especially if you feel like God has never talked to you, or you never even had any kind of light or help. But I think that's because we don't ever give any kind of small little good positives that come into our lives. We attain that to ourselves. Oh, I made that happen. And like, well, no, if you make everything happen, then how come you not making the big things happen, right? Well, we need help with the big things, right? So you practice by praising God and saying thank you for the little things, even though I made it happen, even just for breakfast. And so like, I made breakfast. Like, well, no, God provided us the capabilities to make breakfast, to have a roof over our head to make breakfast, have food in the fridge to make breakfast. Thank you, Lord. When we start thanking ourselves, that becomes selfish. And it sounds weird, or we accept thank yous from other people. And it's like, well, don't thank me, thank the Lord. So when you feel like you're in the dark and you don't feel like there's anyone that can help you, because hey, I'm an only child. My pops just passed away. My mom is old, so I help her. She doesn't get too much help from her much anymore. It is up to me to provide, and sometimes, man, it's heavy. The burden is heavy, right? To be the leader and be the head of the household and be the one that takes care and be the one where the wealth comes from, right? It's really hard, especially when you don't come from wealth. So it feels like there's no help. And it is very frustrating and hard and depressing when you don't believe in God and just think there's nothing out there. But when you have God in your heart, it's not just hope. That's like undermining what God is. It is you start developing trust that God is going to take care of it. So and it's just like when your parent, you forget something at home and you call your mom to come bring it to you. You forgot your lunch. You don't hope and you're worried and hoping. Oh, you just know she's coming, right? That's the kind of trust that we need to have in God. Like when bad things are going on, when we make our own mistakes, trust that God is going to take care of it. And just thank Him for it over and over again. Keep thinking, because it's coming. All right. So I thank you for hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. And I thank you for coming back tomorrow and for sharing the word with us. So I hope you have a wonderfully blessed night, and keep praying and keep spreading positivity and keep the faith, guys. Much love to you. See you tomorrow.